first Qarn, because it's Qarnain. And we've had the second Qarn. We've explained you, we had 2 sessions on the second Qarn. And we ended the second Qarn with how Gog and Magog will die. They're all going to die in Jerusalem. We told you that. That they will say, well, Jesus, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, has gone up the mountain, which is the mountain in Jerusalem, with the believers. These are the people who are following him. I don't follow him. I follow Muhammad, Allah's blessing be upon him. And the mountain is surrounded by Gog and Magog. And then he will pray to Allah to destroy them, and Allah will destroy them. The same people who give us the virus now and who will keep on giving us virus tomorrow are the same people who are going to be destroyed by virus. This is what Putin said, you know. Those who give us poison today will tomorrow drink their own poison. That's what he said. And this is exactly what's going to happen. They're giving us the virus today, and tomorrow the virus will destroy them. That's the hadith. And but before that, they say, we have killed all those who are on earth. So they're going to be the dominant power in Jerusalem and around Jerusalem. There's no one to stand in their way. We've killed those who are on earth. Now let us kill those who are in the sky above, meaning Star Wars. And they will shoot their arrows up into the sky, which I said missiles, and Allah will allow it to come down with what looks like blood. After they are killed, then Dajjal is already killed, and Gog and Magog are now destroyed by Allah. At that time, it is not Dhul Qarnain. At that time, it is not the Christian world. At that time, it is a Muslim army which will conquer Jerusalem. But save that for another day. Now then. But before that time, remember the Quran says, وَهُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ حَدَبٍ يَنْسِلُونَ, that they're going to spread out. Gog and Magog are going to spread out all over the world. And then in Surah Al-Kahf, that was Surah Al-Anbiya. In Surah Al-Kahf, وَتَرَكْنَا بَعْدَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ يَمُوجُ فِي بَعْدٍ وَنُفِخَ فِي السُّورِ فَجَمَعَنَاهُمْ جَمْعًا. That there is going to be, Allah brings together the entire world of people who follow Gog and Magog. Face mask and all. That global society will be called Ahlu Ya'juj wa Ma'juj. And on the last occasion, I mentioned briefly that there are 4 hadiths in Sahih Bukhari, 4, which mentions Judgment Day. And Allah speaks to Adam alayhi salam and says to him, take out the people for the hellfire. Difficult for me to explain that. That is what the hadith says. And Adam alayhi salam will then ask, how many are they, O Allah? And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will respond and say to Adam alayhi salam, out of every 1,000, take 999 for the hellfire. And I want to suggest, don't study this subject as a subject in mathematics. This is literary. This is literary style. Literary style, 999 out of every 1,000 means the overwhelming majority, that's it. So don't use mathematics here. The overwhelming majority of mankind are going to follow Gog and Magog. And Allah will understand that the process of globalization is connected with Gog and Magog. Then there is another hadith. I'm glad we still have a few minutes left before I can conclude. And I studied this hadith 25 years ago. I was a scholar in New York. And I used to sit down in the early hours of the morning and ponder because I couldn't understand at that time. لَيُحَجَّنَّ الْبَيْتِ Sahih Bukhari. لَيُحَجَّنَّ الْبَيْتِ That the people will continue to perform the Hajj to the house of Allah, the Kaaba in Mecca. وَلَيُؤْتَمَرَنَّ And the people will continue to perform the Umrah to the house of Allah, the Kaaba. بَعْدَ خُرُوجِ يَأْجُوجِ وَمَأْجُوجِ Even after Gog and Magog have been released, they will still continue. They will still continue. The Hajj will still continue. Even after Gog and Magog have been released, the Hajj will still continue. The Umrah will still continue. Let me repeat it one more time. Even after Gog and Magog have been released, long ago released, yet the Hajj will still continue. And the Umrah will still continue. Even though Gog and Magog have been released, the Hajj will still continue. The Umrah will still continue. Even though I repeated it 25,000 times, there's still people who don't understand, you know. What can I do? لا تقوم الساعة حتى لا يحج. But the last hour will not come until the Hajj no longer takes place. Meaning, not that the Hajj is suspended this year. No. لا تقوم الساعة حتى لا يحج. لا يحج. لا يحج. That the last hour will not come until the Hajj no longer takes. If I use the word abandon, they probably wouldn't understand. The Hajj will no longer take place, meaning no more Hajj. Do you understand now? No more Hajj again after this. No more, no more, no more. So when the Hajj no longer takes place, the first year they may say virus and suspend. The second year they may say virus, suspend. The third year virus, and then afterwards no more. You can no longer say, no, Gog and Magog have not been released as yet. No, you can't. You are trapped, you're finished. Yes, you have to recognize that you were wrong on Gog and Magog. The Hajj will tell you you were wrong. When the Hajj no longer takes place, you can no longer say that Gog and Magog have not been released. Yes, they have been released and released a long, long time ago. I want to now conclude my sessions on Dhul Qarnain and on Gog and Magog with this last comment. Bismillah. And it is this. This is the foundation of Islamic eschatology. Islamic eschatology is the most important branch of knowledge in Islam at this time. And this is the foundation of Islamic eschatology because Gog and Magog are in the Quran in plain and clear language. Dajjal is not in the Quran in the same way. So Gog and Magog take priority. The reason why Allah has done this, is because He wants us to go from Gog and Magog to Dajjal. You have to build a foundation of knowledge on Gog and Magog before you can turn to Dajjal. So if you do not have the knowledge of Gog and Magog, you cannot study Dajjal. And so now let me invite you. Let me invite you. If you are Shia and you're my brothers, and you say that the Ahlul Bayt are a people who continue to receive divine revelation. I don't say that, you say that. Therefore you, the Shia, my brothers, you must be the most rightly guided of all. So now then, how many times must I invite you? Bring your scholarship. Let me see what your scholars have said on Gog and Magog. Is that asking too much? If you have any credentials, if you claim that you are the rightly guided, the Shia, then would you kindly bring your scholarship? Let's see what your scholars have written in 1,000 years on Gog and Magog. Similarly, my invitation to my Salafi brothers. Even though you've been constantly attacking me, not all Salafi, there are Salafis who are my students. If you have any credibility, if your shuyukh of the Salafi movement, if they are the rightly guided one, bring the scholarship. Let's see what have they written. What have they lectured on Gog and Magog. Bring it for us. Let's examine it. The same thing I have to say to all the others. And I don't talk about the Ahmadiyya movement. The Ahmadiyya movement is the most dangerous one of all, because the poor followers of the Ahmadiyya movement, they're being taken for a ride and they don't know it. The scholars who lead them are the ones who are so misguided. So if you are Ahmadi and you say you are right and we are wrong, bring your scholarship. What are you waiting on? Let's see what your scholars have written on Gog and Magog. What has your founder said on Gog and Magog? Why are you afraid? If Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said something which was correct, I will confirm it was correct. Of course. I will say, yes, Mirza Ghulam is correct. So why are you afraid? Come on and bring your scholarship. But I don't need to ask about the Islamic modernism. The ones who get their PhDs from American universities and British universities, PhDs on Islam and come to teach us Islam. I don't need to ask modern Islamic modernism, what do they say on Gog and Magog? Because they don't have any influence on the world of Islam anymore. They're finished. They're finished. The world of Islam is going to follow those who go to the Quran and who recognize absolute truth in the Quran and use proper methodology to study the Quran and then to combine the Quran with the Hadith. And I thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.